this is Bashal Tootin. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give them 15 yards to start their first drive of the game. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. And he'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down. The Niners at 2-7 now on the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one. Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And the catch made by Johnson. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it's 2nd down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And he gets it down to the 32. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
This is an offense that's near the bottom of the league in rushing, so defensively coming in, you've got to know you're going to see the ball in the air a lot. And that time, it's a completion and a first down on this opening drive.
Now Cook. A throw left side for Pearsall is complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4-4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game. Like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield, past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
Off the RPO, he completes it. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Check, Panther.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is 3rd down.
60 Bison, 60 Bison.
Throwing, Cook. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. And his kick is good. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Their own 28-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll run. This is Jaden Blue. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
They'll try and run again with Blue. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. You look at this Niner defense. And they're going to be tough to throw on, no doubt. Currently ranked 3rd in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lowry. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. That'll go as a pickup of 8. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
It's caught inside the 25. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play here for Dallas. 53 yards.
First and goal.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Blue is in. Touchdown, Dallas.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point by Ryland, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead.
49ers 3.
Ryland now following the touchdown, back out to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here is 3rd and 5.
Here we go, here we go. Nike 18.
Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. 3rd and 5. Off the play fake. Cook. He's got his target. That's complete. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the 49ers have retaken the lead. Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it as we resume action. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. Taking it about the 1. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now a 2nd and 10. In motion, the tight end. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play here for Dallas. 47 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. The 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 43-yard line.
Go! 70 Timberwolves. Wait.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having 2 hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
Following the fumble recovery, Lowry on the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great play there. 28 yards. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Ryland, up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game.
To kick off.
Shifts past him. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30, right about the 29.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units in there. Kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Cook. They'll try and set up the screen to Tootin. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Well, that flag puts them on their heels a little bit more defensively as the officials walk it upfield.
Yeah, and they can blame the officials all they want, but bottom line, it's their own fault because, to me, that was an avoidable call. Stay focused and avoid major mistakes like that.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. He's still on his feet. Touchdown, 49ers. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. What a first half he is compiling here. He's already over 100 yards receiving and now 2 touchdowns, CD.
Brandon, you know I don't like to play the game where you start projecting when you're at a certain point. But let's face it, he's off to a tremendous start. So 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. I don't think anything's out of the question right now. He's blowing up coverages. You've got to double him every snap. Otherwise, he's going to defeat you on almost every play.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. And they've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Lowry. Completes this one to Thornton. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On first down, it's Blue. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
They work now on 2nd and 9. They go again with Blue. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lowry. And this is taken in at the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tyquan Thornton, 50 yards. As his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point by Ryland, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11.
Chad Ryland to kick off.
So after the field goal, Ryland back out as he'll send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
At their own 29-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Here we go. 60 in, 60 Cowboy 80.
They'll look to throw now on first down. They'll get this out to Tootin. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 18 more yards there and another first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
1-yard gain brings up second.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. Looking to throw. Cook. That's complete. He's got Tootin. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
That's another 49er first down. First and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Hawk 70. Let it go.
Back to throw. Cook. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Second and 10.
Let's go now.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
60 Eagle, 60 Eagle.
Looking to throw. Cook will try and do this himself. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Bashal Tootin, a 14-yard touchdown. And the 49ers have got it back to within a score. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far and fun to watch. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A big play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Cowboys will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Now Ryland for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
49ers 24.
Back out is the kicker, Ryland, and he'll send this one away. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Here's Cook, throwing to start the drive. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by DeMarvion Overshown. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Everybody was coming on the blitz that time, and they got home.
And you know the expression, hat on a hat, in terms of blocking, trying to keep your quarterback protected? Well, if you don't have enough hats, that's the end result. Your quarterback goes down, and sometimes he goes down hard.
60 Bison, 60 Bison.
Operating from the gun, Lowry. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one, weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Operating from the gun, Lowry. He'll try and do this himself. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And this one is incomplete. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
And they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half. Misdirection's the key on this play. They line up with 3 receivers to the opposite side of the tight end, and they're all going to work their way across the field and let the tight end slip underneath against flow the other way. They're banking that he can get lost, and that's exactly what happened as they pick up a first down.
Now it's shotgun handoff, Blue. And a pretty good burst there as they get this across midfield and down to the 46. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
Cowboys first down. A gain of 14. First down.
They'll run up the middle here with Blue. And a good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 41 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Cowboys
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Warriors 70. Go.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And this is caught. Touchdown. Tyquan Thornton. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys add 6 to their lead. Extra point by Ryland up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now.
49ers 24. Chad Ryland to kick off.
Ryland now following the touchdown, back out to kick it away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a pretty slick return there. Almost got it to the 45. Officially, they'll call him down at the 44.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic. But if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
To throw again on second down. Cook. And that is incomplete.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Hawk 70. Hawk 70.
Back to throw. Cook. That is caught. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great play there. 56 yards. And the 49ers are able to cut into that deficit. Well, yes, that's his third touchdown catch, which is very impressive. But on the scoreboard, they're still struggling.
So safe to say that without him, my goodness, yikes, they are in major league trouble. He's doing his best to try and keep them in the game.
The extra point up and good by Aubrey. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit.
49ers 31.
The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
At their own 26-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go with Blue between the tackles. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At the 38-yard line.
19 Lions.
In motion goes the tight end.
18
Operating from the gun. Lowry. And a quick throw here. That's complete.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Here's 3rd and 3.
Here we go, set. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
Operating from the gun. Lowry. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Ryland on for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now.
Makes the score Cowboys 49, 49ers 31.
So after the field goal, Ryland back out as he'll send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Go.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh, my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Cowboy 80. Cut 19. Cut 19.
Operating from the gun, Cook. And a quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Let's go now. Panther 60. Panther 60. Go get him. Go get him.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Finds Tootin out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Cook. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Off play action. Cook. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Now a 2nd and 6.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
Hands it off out of the gun. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
He was brought down at the 13-yard line.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Niners on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll try and run for it. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Operating from the gun, Cook. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Tyler Warren from 8 yards out. And the Niners have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Aubrey now for the PAT. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now.
Makes the score Cowboys 49, 49ers 38.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs.
A big play here for Dallas. 42 yards.
And this is seemingly how it's been all game long. This defense has been just a step too slow. And here they're burned again. Another big play.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Out of the gun, they run with Blue. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the Niners 32-yard line.
Looking to throw. Lowry. They'll swing this out to Blue. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 19. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Cougar 19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Out left and complete to Thornton. And the Cowboys are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Jaden Blue with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter.
49ers 38. Chad Ryland to kick off.
Back out is the kicker Ryland, and he'll send this one away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
On the return, the Niners take over first and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, second and 10.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. 70 Ranger, 70 Ranger. Let's go.
Operating from the gun, Cook. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Brings up third down and 10.
Now they face a third and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Bronco 80. Mustang 19. Check out.
Operating from the gun, Cook. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is finally forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. So from Cowboy territory now, here's first and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 25, here's second and 6.
Here we go, set. Panther 60, Panther 60, Dragon 60.
Back to throw. Cook. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up first and goal. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Now Cook. From the gun, he'll throw. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Bayshore Tootin from 8 yards out. And the Niners get a bit closer. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now, you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
Aubrey good with a PAT. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. If they can score here, they have a chance to make this a 3-possession game and all but put things to bed. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Lowry. Throw left side complete. That's Curry. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Oh, it's time to give more credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Gets this into the hands of Blue. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Pioneer.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Ready, break. Ready, go.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. That one looks like he'll throw here. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. 20. A big play there on the catch and run. 47 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Going for the knockout punch. They'll try and run. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Dallas, It's a win they needed, if for nothing else in their sanity, as they move to 4-6. And now they'll have the short week ahead as they'll host their annual Thanksgiving Day game on Thursday. Meanwhile, for the Niners, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.